present here. Good evening, everyone. I'm Angel Mary Tom, your host for the evening, and I extend a heartwarming welcome to each and every one of you to the inaugural ceremony of the activities of Career and Professional Developmental Wing of Marianalumni Association, Kuttikkanam. And before we begin, I would like to give you all a brief on MAAK's Career and Professional Development Wing. So, our mission is to provide comprehensive support in career and professional development to students, alumni, and our teaching staff. And we focus on a wide variety of areas and have different teams to focus on each area, including the curriculum and knowledge team, career counseling, networking, recruiting team, and so on. And with this, let's begin. Lord Almighty has stored within us great potentials, strengths, and abilities. And it's with prayer that helps us to open up and enhance these powers. Now, let me take this moment to welcome Ms. Ashwati for the prayer song.
ദൈവമേ നിന്റെ സ്നേഹസാഗരം എന്നിലേക്കൊഴുകേണമേ ഹൃത്തിലെ തിന്മയൊക്കെയും മാറ്റി ശുദ്ധമാക്കിത്തരേണമേ ദുഃഖമിൻ ചിത്ത ഭൂമിയിൽ വർഷ മേഘമായി പെയ്തിറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ സാന്ത്വനത്തിൻ്റെ കുഞ്ഞു തെന്നലായി എന്നെ വന്നു തലോടണേ.
That was indeed a great start. Now, let me take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Jijo Johnson, Deputy Director of the Skill Team, to garland the gathering with welcome address.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. We have people from all over the world joining us here today. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes.
It is my honor and pleasure to have the opportunity to welcome everyone to the inauguration of the Marianalumni Association Career and Professional Development Wing activities for the year 2023-24. First, I welcome the Director of the Career and Professional Development Wing, Mr. Twinkle Abraham. He has spearheaded the Career Wing and facilitated planning and organization of the wing to enable us to function like we are today. Welcome Twinkle Cheta to this event. Mr. Manoj Balachandran, our chief guest, is the Vice President for Sustainability at Inhana Organic Research Foundation. On behalf of the Alumni Association of Marian College and everyone gathered here today, I welcome you, sir, to this function. Next, I welcome Professor Dr. Ajimon George, the Principal of Marian College, to this function. He is leading the college to new heights, as evident from the renewed MAAK accreditation. Thank you, Professor, for finding the time to be here.
Thank you.
Father Dr. Roy Abraham, Roy Chen to all of us, Honorary Director of the Alumni Association and former Principal of Marian College, is a man that needs no introduction. It's a pleasure to have you here, Roy Chen. I welcome you on behalf of everyone.
Thank you, Jijo.
Next, I welcome Advocate Nelson Joseph, President of the Alumni Association. Thanks to his leadership, the Alumni Association is active and thriving. Welcome to the function, Advocate Nelson. We also have Vinodam Nagapalli, client partner at TCS, an active and dynamic member of our alumni. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Jijo.
Next, Ms. Jyoti Jose, faculty representative and honorary director of the Alumni Association. She is Jyoti for most of you, and Jyoti Miss for some of us. It would feel weird for me to call her anything else. So I welcome Jyoti Miss to this inauguration.
Thank you, Jijo.
Finally, we have Mr. Alan Joseph, currently a consultant in Deloitte, a valued member of the alumni and very active participant of the career wing. I welcome you, Alan Jeta, to this function.
Thank you.
So what we are doing here is we are essentially creating a community here, supported by the alumni to support both alumni and students alike, to enable each other to develop skills for a career. By this, we mean to trigger a domino effect of helping each other help each other. It is a noble cause, one which I know will pave the way to build a robust community for the ages. Welcoming everyone once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jijo, for the cordial welcome. Now it's time to present the Career Wing report, and for that, I would like to invite Mrs. Jyoti Jose, Honorary Director and Faculty Representative. Please, ma'am.
Jyoti, please unmute.
Sorry, I didn't notice. Good evening, all. I'm really happy to present the brief report of the activities of Career and Professional Development Wing till today. Actually, we have started in 2020 during our COVID time. So it's just a brief profile about what all activities we have done so far. And I am presenting it on behalf of our Matthew, our former Director of Career Wing. Okay, a dedicated wing to support the career and professional development of students, alumni, and teaching staff was formed during MAAK, under the MAAK in 2020, under the leadership of Mr. Matthew Abraham Matthew. So these are the activities, various activities we have taken so far. Inspirators Talk, an online session organized on August 28, 2021 for alumni, students, and alumni kids on two relevant topics. One is how to effectively use LinkedIn for networking by Mr. Bivin Domi Thomas, and the one which is more beneficial for students on how to effectively study to score ranks, and it is taken by the current secretary, Ms. Ammu Sara Abraham. The second activity is the placement support. We are giving the placement support in various heads. We have alumni interactions and mock interviews. The MAAK Career and Professional Development Wing extends its supports to Marian students by arranging mock interviews for all students attending campus placements. Also, all the alumni coming to campus, we usually interact with the students, and also we are arranging many online sessions for the students before their placement drives. So these are some posters which shows the various interactions happened recently. And the main area what we focus is the expert talks and the alumni interactions. It's basically the knowledge sharing part. We are contributing by providing the talk during the student association inauguration. This I have listed the few activities that happened in this year alone. The MAAK, the Student Association of BCA, was inaugurated by Ms. Sojije Panur. The MMA, the Student Association of BBA, was inaugurated by Mr. Ashish Philip. Commerce Forum inauguration was done by Mr. Jobinjay Ekkarekalam. Mahad, the Student Association of MMH, was inaugurated by Mr. Fen Jacob Kadamapura. And few of the expert talks which were organized very recently. Aji Varghese and Alina James has taken the session on for BCA students on various topics. Shruti Satyanath has taken session for MCMS students. Elizabeth Maria Thomas in Social Work Department. Gidu Anna Matthew for BBA students. Saraj Chandran has taken for the MCA students. Mr. Tijo Anthony for MCOM and MCA students. Mr. Amal Raj for the MCA students. And there were two workshops also organized by the alumni. One is by Mr. Vishal Ravi on the topic opportunities in sports. The other one on anchoring and comparing for the English department students by the RJ Shambhu. So these are various activities recently happened. And the other area where we are supporting is in the curriculum development. The alumni supports in the curriculum development and syllabus adaptation. We have the Board of Studies, dedicated alumni representative in all the Board of Studies. And most of the department Board of Studies are having the industry partner also as an alumni. Then we have the internships and job reference. This mainly when students, some of the internship requirements are from the students we are sharing in our alumni group, and we are getting some support through our contact. And also any job opportunities within the companies, the alumni are posting in the group, and this is we are helping each other through this employee referral system. And coming to the current career wing team, recently we have done a brainstorming on what all things we can do for the future, and a new team was formed under the leadership of Mr. Twinkle Abraham, and we have found out some of the areas where we need to expand, and we have formed some subcommittees with deputy directors for each of this wing. So the main teams are the curriculum team. This is headed by Mrs. Rosemary Kurian. The goal of this team is to support the activities of Board of Studies in curriculum development and syllabus revision according to the dynamic corporate industry needs. Then we have a knowledge team. This is headed by Mr. Justin Jacob. This provides the learning support in enhancing academic knowledge and remove the knowledge gaps. Then we have a skill team headed by Mr. Jijo Johnson. The aim is to provide the support for professional and personal skills or quality development and help identify individual competencies. Then we have the career counseling headed by Mr. Tom K. Tommy. This is for providing support to career guidance to students, alumni, and family members. Then we have a networking team headed by Cyril Matthew. This is to update and maintain the alumni industry database to facilitate coordination and interaction between the alumni professionals and students for internship industry tie-ups. Then we have a recruitment team where we have an HR itself, like Ms. Varsha Babu is heading the team. The aim is to train the students and alumni for job interviews, tests, and support the placement activities. So all these teams are in functional now, and these are our team members. So thank you all, and wishing the career team a very good future ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am, for the wonderful presentation. Now, let me take this moment to welcome our beloved Father Dr. Roy Abraham P., Honorary Director, to deliver the message. Please, Father.
Oh, thank you. I'm very glad to be part of this meeting. I don't want to take a long time, maybe in the morning, afternoon, and evening for me. In fact, Tungal had requested me, and I have promised, but then in between, actually, I forgot. So I'm not actually quite prepared for any special message. So I keep myself very, very small. But I just wanted to appreciate all the leaders who are taking pains to make this happen. Not only to support Marian and the students and faculty members there. I think the relationship building, partnering is what gives strength to all organizations in 21st century. We had a meeting in Zaim last week where we were speaking only on how to strengthen our partnership with academia and also with industries. So even academic institutions are thinking how to extend the collaborations and strength so that we may be able to capitalize on our strengths. Similar is the situation in the industry and even for personal growth. That is where we can no more work like islands. The strength of our relationships really matter now. So let this forum give ample opportunities for everyone participating, for all participating members, and also even for non-participating members through indirect benefits. Wish you the very best. Thank you very much, Twinkle, for inviting me for this meeting. And Jyoti today just called me, otherwise I would have completely lost. I am sorry about that. I wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Father, for taking the time and joining us and for your wonderful and kind words. Once again, thank you so much. Now, with great delight, I welcome Mr. Twinkle Abraham, Director of Career and Professional Development Wing, to convey the presidential address.
Respected Principal Professor Dr. Ajimon George, beloved Father Dr. Roy Abraham, our Chief Guest, dear Manoj Balachandran, Alumni President Advocate Nelson Joseph, Faculty Coordinator Jyoti Jose, dear teachers, Alumni Governing Board members, Career Wing team, and dear friends. It's with great pleasure and gratitude that I address this gathering today. The foundation of who we are, the lessons we have learned, and the values we hold were nurtured by our dear teachers. They are the true architects of our success. So we appreciate the continuous guidance and support of Roy Achan and Ajimon sir and all our dear teachers. Marian, a campus blessed with management with a vision, competent faculty, and a great platform for transformation. Today, as we gather here, we celebrate not only our shared history and the memories we cherish, but also the infinite possibilities as Marian alumni community. Under the leadership of Nelson Joseph and highly dedicated governing board members, Marian Alumni Association established high-performing teams under different categories, and one of which is Career and Professional Development Wing. The activities and initiatives by Career Wing are highly commendable through career development workshops, networking events, webinars, and mock interviews. Career Wing has already created a vibrant platform for professional development and knowledge sharing. Wish to express our collective appreciation. As we take it forward, our vision for Career Wing is to create a strong ecosystem to facilitate continuous learning and skill development. As Roy Achan rightly pointed out, I believe in the power of collaboration, the strength of our network, and in the immense potential of what we can achieve together. Our well-experienced alumni have a wealth of knowledge to offer, and we wish to create a cycle of support. The Career Wing, with a lot of enthusiasm, creativity, and dedication, is on our way to achieve it. During the initial brainstorming session, as Jyoti listed down, we identified 6 core areas to contribute. With the slogan, "Share the fire to inspire." Today, we are happy to launch the Alumni Career Talk series and Career Scavenger Hunt competition. So let me invite each one of you to actively participate, share your experiences, offer guidance, and take advantage of the resources of Career Wing. Together, we can create more opportunities, share more knowledge, and inspire each other to reach greater heights. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your inspiring words. Now, dear gathering, let me welcome Professor Dr. Ajimon George, Principal of Marian College, Kuttikkanam, to deliver the principal's message. Please, sir.
Respected Roy Achan, Twinkle Abraham, Director, Career and Professional Development Wing, and Mr. Manoj Balachandran, who is inaugurating the activities today, Advocate Nelson Joseph, President of Alumni Association, and all other office bearers. And I am really happy to be with all of you today. Very glad to know that the activities of Career Wing and Professional Development Wing are getting inaugurated today. Twinkle Abraham and Roy Achan has rightly pointed out the need and importance of networking and collaboration. And we are proud that all our alumni are well experienced. As Twinkle has rightly pointed out, that they have a wealth of knowledge and experience to share. And Marian will definitely benefit out of this wealth of knowledge and experience. And I take this opportunity to thank all those who have contributed in different ways. The faculty coordinator, Ms. Jyoti, was presenting the report. A very large number of our alumni are coming to our campus, and they are giving training to our students, training in different ways for their professional development, for acquiring career. So I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. And our present students, those students who are currently studying in Marian, for them, I request all of your contributions in different ways, in whatever possible ways it is possible. Because nowadays it is important that all educational institutions should have association and collaboration and tie up with the industry. And our large number of alumni are working in different companies, and that too in prominent positions, in leadership positions. And I'm sure that that will bring contributions to our contributions in different forms to our students, and to make Marian to take Marian to better heights. I also take this opportunity to thank Mr. Manoj Balachandran because he has won the India Responsible Leaders Award for 2023. So I congratulate Mr. Manoj Balachandran for this remarkable achievement on behalf of Marian College. And I once again thank each and every one of you, and wish you all the very best. Especially, I would like to thank and congratulate Mr. Twinkle Abraham and also Advocate Nelson Joseph for all the great activities which the Alumni Association are currently doing. So, wish you all the best. Thank you for your support, and look forward to have greater associations and support from the Alumni Association. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Advocate Nelson Joseph, President of Marian Alumni Association, to convey the felicitation.
Respected dignitaries, alumni members, students, and my dear friends, good evening to you all. As the president of this prestigious organization, I feel so proud and happy today by seeing this inaugural session. The way in which it is conducted, the professional way, the timing, the pre-invitation, everything, it was in a very professional way. So it is a model for other wings, for our chapters, our upcoming units and all to follow. So I congratulate the entire career team led by Tingle for organizing such a wonderful inaugural session today. We know sometimes when something is delayed, it is sometimes for good. In fact, we were planning for career wing activities from the beginning of this year, January. Immediately after our installation, we were planning to have a career wing immediately, because career wing was the most active unit in the previous years. So we did not want to delay that process. But unfortunately, for some other reason, for some technical reason, we could not materialize on that. But eventually, it happened to be in the hands of Twinkle, though it's late. But I think that's all for good. Now we have the career wing in the right hands, and we are moving in the right direction. We have a very vibrant leader as the director of career wing. Usually in our programs, it is very difficult to get both Ajimon sir and Roy H, because many times when we call them, it is very difficult in their busy schedules. And getting both of them is a luxury. But today, both of them are here with us. That itself shows the kind of importance they are giving to this particular area, and the importance of this program, importance of this area. So I think this career wing is going to be the face of our alumni association in coming months. So I wish all the very best to the director and entire team of career wing, and all supports from Marian Alumni Association for the activities of career wing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's now time to introduce and welcome our distinguished guest for this evening. I cordially welcome Mr. Vinod M. Nagapalli, our alumni as well as client partner at Tata Consultancy Services, to introduce the chief guest. Please, sir.
Thanks, Angel, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody who has joined here. Sometimes Zoom helps because, even if you're talking to 50 people, you are just alone and you're not seeing the big stage out there. So it makes it much easier to speak. But again, as I said, as Rohit had mentioned, already so inspired by what we are seeing here as a career wing and such a wonderful structure and strategy established under Twinkle's leadership. So I couldn't agree more to what Advocate Nelson mentioned. I think the career wing is definitely in the best pair of hands and would see a lot more action and execution happening in the coming years. So all the best to all of you here. Let me get into the job where I have been brought into. So I'm really glad here to be here to welcome our friend as well as a very established personality in the IT industry, Manoj Balachandran, to this event. My duty is to give a brief synopsis of Manoj's personality as well as his career accomplishments. So let me start from how we are all connected to Manoj. I'm a part of the BCA 1998-2001, and along with me, we have Shalini Mohan also who has joined the event. She is one of my batchmates. Manoj is married to Shalini and has been connected to Marian College and to our class ever since, I think, last 20 years or so. We met him in Bangalore, and at the same time, we could already see he's a leader in making. He's a very charismatic personality, very friendly and very jovial. And wherever he comes in for an event, he definitely makes sure he blends in quickly and brings everybody together for some fun and some good discussions as well. So that itself had shown how he's a leader in making. When we have been seeing Manoj growing through this last 20 years, he had started his career with AT&T and had eventually emerged as the site head in the Bangalore operations of AT&T. I can only imagine how big a people responsibility that would be. But, he is not somebody who would be just happy with the status quo of things. So he immediately switched on to IBM at some point of time, where he was leading the cloud strategy as well as the account management. From there, again, he ventured into something which is very, very inspiring for all of us, right? So he decided to be a part of that IT group, which gives back to the society from where we have all been nurtured together. So the corporate social responsibility is the area where Manoj headed into within IBM, leaving behind all the technology, beauty, all of that technology career that comes with it. So while he was heading CSR for IBM India, he had delivered to quite a lot of accomplishments. He was leading all the CSR programs and initiatives across IBM India and South Asia, and including some programs such as the award-winning STEM for Girls program and AI for CBSE engagements, which won many awards from the industry. Also, there have been a few programs such as Skills Build, which has apparently seen over 2 million learners benefiting from the free content available there. So think about all the strategy that goes behind it, all the planning that goes behind it, and all the big picture thinking. And that's what Manoj had brought into all of these initiatives. Now, again, IBM is not where he decided to stay comfortable in his comfort zone. He decided to switch into something very exciting. Environment and sustainability is a big theme in these years, and he is currently leading a very significant role as a vice president for sustainability at Inhana Organic Research Foundation. IORF is a Section 8 company focused around sustainable agriculture solutions and helping farmers reduce their dependence on pesticides and nitrates-based fertilizers. Now, you can imagine how strategic and how crucial a topic this is in today's world. And Manoj, with his amazing background in technology as well as his people management skills, has ventured into making his hands dirty and roll up his sleeves as he leads some of these such highly impactful initiatives for the society. So Manoj, wonderful job so far, and I'm sure you have a lot more to accomplish. But at the same time, let me stop here once again. Everybody might be thinking he is like a very serious, he is like a generation, but he is not that kind of a personality. If you look up at him in social media, you would still see him dancing along with his 18-year-old daughter to some of those new songs which even we are not aware of, and he even beats her to some of those songs as well, even in today's world. So he's so full of energy. He is a classical dancer, a trained classical dancer, a very good singer. We have all observed all these talents in him during our gatherings, but doesn't stop there. He's a totally outdoor person with hobbies in biking, swimming, badminton, and what I've seen latest is that he is very interested in learning magic as well. So let's not waste any further time. I think it's really high time that we hear from such a charismatic personality, and I feel it's a real fortune for the entire Marian community to stay connected with him through this career academy as well. So over to you, Manoj. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a major introduction, Vinod. So thank you so much for that, man. Really, really appreciate that. And it's funny when you introduce me. I mean, especially I know you for all these years, over 2 decades, and obviously your stories for even much earlier than that. I think you and my wife Shalini kind of go way back together. I think you guys started together in LKG, so I kind of know stories from that area. So it's very, very interesting when you introduce me in these flowering languages. Really, really appreciate it, and thank you so much. And it's my pleasure and privilege to be a part of this lovely, lovely initiative by MAAK. I think lots of students pass out every year from different colleges across the country, but I think very few of them just go back to doing something for their alma mater. And I think from all the stuff which I kind of saw and heard about what MAAK is doing, it's just outstanding, fantastic work which is being done by the core team who brought the right people together. I think I heard how with the Twinkle coming on and how the change is happening and a lot of things have actually turned. So fantastic job there. So I think bringing the right people together, creating the right set of processes for that to happen, and rallying everyone together around a common purpose. So people, processes, and purpose, I think that kind of brings the success for any such initiative. I really want to hats off to all the people behind that, whether it's Twinkle, Dr. Jimon George, Roy, and obviously, and his blessings, Advocate Nelson Joseph, Jyoti, Vinod, Allen, Gio, and a whole lot of other people behind that, right? Over these last 3 years, I heard Jyoti kind of talking about the fact that you guys started off in 2020 when COVID was happening. And I'm sure in the last 3 years, so many new things and new initiatives have actually happened. So best of luck to all the initiatives for this year. And it's my pleasure to be here and kind of officially launch this. And I don't know what I need to do to officially launch it, but when Twinkle and I had a quick conversation, he said, would love to hear some thoughts about career planning, right? And you heard Vinod kind of talking about what I did. I didn't start from AT&T. I think my journey started from Ashok Leyland when I finished my engineering, when I was in the shop floor building buses and trucks. And then from there went on to do my MBA. And then from there, joined the IT field, and then joined in Satyam, AT&T, IBM, and so on and so forth. So at least for those of you who have just heard my background, career is not something which I planned. Okay. So I would probably be telling a lie if I'm saying I have everything charted out when I'm saying career planning. Okay. But I'll kind of give you my personal experiences about how I went through and what I did to get to what I do, and then experience what I did in my professional space there. And just before I also join, I get into that, the personal privilege for me, as Vinod mentioned, is also the fact that Shalini has been associated with Mariam College over these years. Since 2001, I've been hearing stories about everybody around. So I kind of almost know all these people by name, and it's my honor and a privilege to be here. And I think I should absolutely thank the teachers of that era, whether it's Joby sir or Roy Achin or Sabu sir and multiple others, for having gifted me one of their better products from their class. And this last statement was something which my wife forced me to say. So I am saying that. So thank you, Marian, for giving me one of your better products for life. So let me start off by saying, right, I think Zig Ziglar had a fantastic saying, and I'm kind of very fond of that saying. Success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. Okay. I think all of us will agree to that fact that unless you prepare to take on opportunities, I think opportunities are there all around. Okay. Opportunities are there in organizations, opportunities are there outside in markets around. If you look around, there are opportunities which are there. India is, you would have all seen our vision as a country. I'm just talking about India. I think the playground for you is the world. Okay. But I'm talking just in India. If you talk about the market situation, yes, the current unemployment rate will be around 7.5. It keeps changing, 7.5 to 7.9%. But as a country, we are now aiming to get to a $5 trillion economy by 2025 from 3.5, or let's say around 3.75 trillion right now. Okay, in the next 2 years, we are likely, our aim is to get to a $5 trillion economy and much more beyond, right? And you would have definitely seen news about how by 2030, India is likely to become the third largest economy in the world. This cannot happen without growth. Okay, and with growth comes opportunities, and I think and that's why the saying becomes very important. And success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. And I think all these activities which you guys are doing in MAAK, whether it's mock interviews, whether it's all the scavenger hunts which you guys have planned out, all the whether it's alumni coming and talking about new technology which is out there, opportunities which are out there, all these are stepping stones to preparing your students, your current set of batches, plus also your own alumni. But because I'm sure that there is a healthy mix of students who are presently doing their course there, as well as alumni who have passed on. And all of us are looking for, what do I do next, right? Is this the place where I will be for the next couple of years? Is it temporary? Is it a permanent thing? Is this what I will retire at? And there are so many questions which I think as an individual we will have. Okay. And if you have asked me in 96 when I joined Ashok Leyland as an engineer, fresh out of college, whether I seen myself helping farmers create sustainable agriculture solutions, of course the answer is no. Okay, because I think these goals, these career, what we need to prepare for is a job. Multiple jobs and multiple roles will create a career for you. Okay, and I think that is what we should be preparing for. So I'll kind of, maybe in the next couple of minutes, I'll kind of talk about what you need to do to prepare for that, prepare for a job, what you need to do to retain in a job, and then what obviously you need to do to plan ahead, right? What do you need to do to actually look out, and what is my purpose in life and all of that? Because, I'm sure that all of you would have heard about this concept of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? I'm sure that you would have heard that. It's a very popular concept that there are different needs at different points of time. The base needs is called the physiological needs, basic food, clothing, and shelter. And then the next set of needs is called safety needs, which essentially means you need to be secure, you need to have a job, you need to have money coming in to feel that, okay, I know I can survive. Then the next stage is a stage for love and belonging. You need to have a family, you kind of expanding, you need to have you need to feel I belong to a community, I belong to a certain set of people, and etc. Then the next set of needs is called the esteem needs, where you're looking for recognition, you need to be seen, you need to be recognized, you need to be well known. So those kind of needs will happen. And then the final stage, as they say, is self-actualization stage, where a lot of people then get into it. Why am I here? What is my purpose in life? How do I need to give back and all that stuff, right? I think very few people reach that stage of self-actualization when they feel nothing is important. I need to work towards a greater purpose and kind of look at what I am here to do and how I to contribute back and all that. A lot of people, majority, if you look at the bell curve, majority of people kind of, and this is a truth, right? And this is an unfortunate truth. Our aspiration is to get into a self-actualization stage, but majority of people kind of live and die between the physiological stage and the esteem stage. Between those needs is where we live and die. Okay. And aspiration, all of us aspire to get into that self-actualization stage. So I would say the first piece of advice, which I give to a lot of people, when I was in AT&T, I was handling a large set of people. IBM, I was handling a large set of people there. One thing which I tell people is that do not think that everybody has to have an answer to what is my purpose in life. Okay, it's very, very few people who will get to that stage, and I wish and pray that everybody gets to that stage. But few people get to that stage. We all go through different points of time, different ups and downs in our lives, and then we ask these very crucial introspective questions about why am I here, and especially happens during a midlife crisis, when then you start asking these questions, and then you end up buying a bike at the end of it. That leaving aside, these questions about what is my purpose and then working backwards is something which will sometimes work, sometimes will not work. But the majority of the times, I think the things to do is what do I need to do to get a job first, right? Get into the safety needs, because I'm sure that folks who are here, they don't need to be looking at the physiological needs. I'm sure those things are taken care of. The safety needs is for those people who are now studying, how do I get a job, right? The job market is available. Well, there's no question about it. Okay. There are jobs which are available. How are you prepared to meet that opportunity? Those opportunities which are out there. I think that's a very, very important question. And again, all the different activities which you guys are doing absolutely helps, because you alumni, you are part of the industry, and I'm sure that you have alumni in different industries. It's not just an IT, right? IT might probably be majority of them, but you are going to have alumni in IT, in retail, in pharma, in finance, banks, airlines. I would say one of the things to do is to identify people who are in different industries and bring them in. I'm sure that you might be doing it, but I'm just saying one of the ways by I've seen success in a lot of institutes for their students is by bringing alumni from different industries and then giving them an exposure about what's happening in that world. How does that work? Because IT is not the only thing. IT is a shining star, obviously, right? Everybody wants to be in IT because it's glamorous there, but tremendous amount of opportunities in other fields as well, in other industries as well. A lot of growth is happening in other industries. So look at people who are there in those industries and bring them into your institutes and get them to talk to your students about opportunities there, and then will help them prepare for what do I need to do in order to get a job in that. Okay, so I think that will really help. Another aspect which I do a lot, or I was a part when I was in IBM, was that industry and academia interaction, very, very essential in order to bring in good placements. Okay, because you're all looking for jobs. Once you get that industry collaboration in, again, you tap the alumni, and through the alumni, try and reach out to your HR teams or to your business teams. Because HR teams is one, obviously they all in large organizations, they have certain set of organizations or institutes to which they go to. But tap the business leaders in these large organizations who can come in and give you guest lectures. I'm sure that you have your annual events which are planned out. You can have a literary fest, you can have a IT fest, you can have a hackathon. All these things when you're doing, and I'm sure industry interaction, bringing in people from the industry will also ensure that they know about MAAK as an institute, and they can then tap into good resources who are actually good students who are actually there for their placements. Okay, and it really makes a big difference. And I think the most important factor for everyone to know is the difference between a career and a job, right? You are not preparing for a career when you're preparing for a job. A job comes with a job description. This is what I'm hiring for. This are the skills which I'm looking out for. This is what the basic expectations which I'm expecting you to have, whether it's academic qualifications, whether it's soft skill qualifications. I think there are some basic requirements which a job description comes with. Okay, so you're not preparing for a career, you are preparing for a job there. Okay, so make sure that you are understanding that and say, get a job first. I think that job is a great stepping stone to everything which happens post that, because the job gives you confidence. Once you get that confidence that, hey, yes, I am good enough, I am good enough to get a job. It can be any job. Okay, don't belittle. There's no difference between a job in a big organization and a job in a small organization. A job is a job, because it gives you confidence, it gives you motivation, it gives you a sense of identity, because now you are seen in the community as somebody who is independent, who is responsible, who's got a job, who's taking care of self and family and stuff like that. Once you get a job, I think then you have a lot more ability to then look at options of whether is that what you want to do in your future. Is that something which you really want to continue doing? Is there other roles within the organization which I would love to do? You could probably join in as a sales guy, and then from there you want to go into marketing, and then from there you want to come into operations, and then you want to maybe go into IT and finance. There are multiple things which you can actually go into. Okay, so once you prepare for the job, I think all these activities which MAAK has outlined for you, take I think the humble request is for the students who are there is to take advantage of all of that. Take advantage of the experience and the advice from your alumni, because they are people like war veterans, right? They've been there, done that, got hurt, they've got bruised, and they can teach you a lot of stuff. Okay, learn from that. I think that is one thing. One of the major things which people ignore is soft skills. Technically, you could be amazingly good. Okay, you could be getting A grades in all your subjects. Also plays equal importance for your soft skills. I think every organization thinks that hard skills, tech skills, other skills are something which I can teach you. If you have the right attitude, if you have the right soft skills, it could be communication, teamwork, problem-solving abilities, time management, decision-making, stress management, creativity. All these are considered to be soft skills. Okay, so make sure that you are focusing on that. Communication happens to be one of the most important stuff. Whether it's a small organization, large organization, they're all looking at good communication for people, because once you have that, I think half the battle is won. Okay, if you're having good communication skills, practice that on others, make sure that others get better. Okay, if you have, especially in as students, the typical tendency will be to communicate in the local language. Perfectly fine, right? Make sure that you're also taking opportunities to practice your English speaking skills, because those are important, right? Whatever said and done, I think I have personally seen, and I've actually gone through so many resumes where between technically two qualified people, I obviously go to the one who's got better comm skills. Okay. Shalini, just last week, she interviewed somebody for a job in her team, and she had to reject somebody technically very, very well qualified. We know the individual person could have really done a great job at the role, but unfortunately had to reject that person because the comm skills were not all that great. Okay, so please place importance. Ensure that you are taking an opportunity to learn that there are AI tools which are available. Okay, right now with after Chat GPT has come in, and there's a ton of AI tools which are available out there, which can teach you good communication skills. There are tools where it can record what you're saying, even when if you're preparing for an interview. I'm sure that in your mock interviews and all that, your alumni is asking you those basic questions, right? Hey, tell me about yourself. Obviously, the first basic question which you can expect in any interview. Even that, what you say, these AI tools record that and play it back to you. They also tell you what are the most common words which are being used, how to replace those words with alternate words, how many gaps, how many what are these top gap fillers you have used in these things. And there are tools which tell you. Okay, please be very, very aware of the fact that technology is a tool. Use them wisely, and you can really get a phenomenal output from that. So that's one thing which I really want to say to people, to folks who are in a job, going out, who are trying to get into a job, because comm skills, I think a lot of people, and I've also been guilty of not promoting people because they don't have the right comm skills, because unfortunately, I think that is a very important aspect of it. If you're not able to communicate an organization's vision, mission, and their goals to people below you, I think then, and you could be good at something. You could be good at certain things. You will continue to do what that is and continue to do those roles. So make sure that you are focusing on that. Okay. The next part, which I would really like to say, is once you get into a job, very important for you to have mentors in the organization. Okay. Mentors, whether you are a student also, I think that is very, very important. But in a job also, once you have got into a job, to navigate within the organization, I think it's very important for you to have mentors. My thumb rule of mentorship is the person you are identifying as the mentor should at least be 2 levels above you, whatever your grading system is in your organization. Okay, you could have bands, you could have levels, you could have grades in these organizations. Whatever your organization structure is, look at mentors who are at least 2 levels above, because they are at a higher position, and hence their visibility is much more of what's happening within the organization. You should definitely understand the difference between a mentor and a coach. Okay, a coach is somebody who will make you do better in your existing job. A mentor is somebody who will help you get to the next level. Okay, Sachin Tendulkar's and Virat Kohli's and these guys still have coaches, batting coaches and fielding coaches and all of that, right? To do their job better right now. Mentors are people who will help you to actually help you give you vision, give you purpose, look at, hey, what else can you see? What else can you build on? What are the different skills which you can actually get to, and stuff like that. I've always had more than 2 mentors. 2 mentors give you perspective. Okay, one mentor who have been in the kind of role which you're doing. If you're in sales, find a mentor in sales. Okay, if you're in IT, if you're in cloud computing, find a mentor who are 2 levels above in the cloud computing space, so that you know within that structure what is it which you can look at. Look at one mentor who's outside, completely outside of your domain. Okay, because that mentor will help you again give perspective of what's happening in a different industry. I think, and that's very important because I think we all get straitjacketed into a certain thinking, right? I'm an IT guy, so I only look like ITs. One of the most common problems which are there in these large apartments in Bangalore, and we are based in Bangalore, is that 90% of the people are IT guys, right? And they have a very standard way of thinking. They're all, I'm a PM, I'm a project manager, I'm a program manager, and they all think that they all know what needs to happen. So there's a standard way of thinking. Okay, having a different perspective of somebody who is in a different industry will give you different perspective. So make sure that you also identify at least one more person who's outside of industry to actually give you a perspective. I just talked about coaching. If you are able to find a coach, if you are able to find somebody who can make your life easier, better in the job which you're doing right now, perfect, fantastic. Okay, so you can actually find a coach there. And I don't need to talk about upgrading your skills, right? Because I think every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you would have heard. Anyway, everybody is talking about skills upgrade, upgrade your skills, because constantly technology is changing, things are changing. You have to be updated with what's happening right now. Okay, so it's extremely important that you constantly upgrade your skills. And there are, again, in a technology age like this, when stuff like Chat GPT is all available, which in a click of a button, it can tell you what are the free courses which are available in a certain domain which you're looking for. I don't think you will have any excuse to say, hey, I don't know where to go and find training for this. Okay, there are hundreds and hundreds of opportunities for upgrading your skills. Vinod just talked about Skills Build. As a IBM has something called Skills Build, which was a online platform. There are thousands of courses which are out there on emerging tech. I would take this opportunity to also offer that Skills Build to students of my IRM and also Marianalumni. Okay, if they really want to take courses which are out there, I'll find out ways to get in touch with Twinkle and figure out Twinkle and Jyoti and figure out what's the best way to kind of make that that association. But if you can take those free courses which are out there. Okay, and you can also get certified, and these are platforms where not only the free courses are there, but the certification is also there, and through that you can also demonstrate that I also know this. And because a lot of platforms are there where the courses are free, the certification is paid. Okay, so know the difference between that. Go ahead and take tons and tons of these free courses which are actually available. Networking, I think somebody talked about the importance of networking. Okay, the power of networking is immense. What you know gets you into the organization. Who you know moves you in the organization. Okay, so networking, do not negate the power of networking. I've got most of my roles, whether it was AT&T or whether it was IBM, all the different roles which I've done purely because I networked well. I know what's happening in one organization vis-a-vis another, in one vertical vis-a-vis another, and then hence had the ability to raise my hand and say, hey, I would like to do it. I would like to kind of try my hand at that. And that's what enabled me to kind of do these roles. So do not negate the power of networking. And I know that I just saw that Mr. Bibin kind of came in and did one workshop on how to use LinkedIn as a great tool for your networking. Yes, extremely important, very important. Use LinkedIn. It is the tool of choice. Make sure that your LinkedIn status are updated. Make sure that you're seen on LinkedIn. Okay, not just being available on LinkedIn is not enough. If you have to really grow and use it as a very powerful tool, use LinkedIn the way it can be used. Use your experience, use your expertise in that particular field make sure that you are coming out with articles so that you are looked upon as a subject matter expert in that space. Okay. I think that will ensure that your digital credibility will go up a lot. A lot of hiring is happening through AI now. Okay. AI tools are the ones who are shortlisting, who are looking at your profiles. The resumes which you're making is all being shortlisted by AI. Okay. They're also looking at your digital avatars. They're looking at your digital footprints and saying, are you available? Are you being seen? Are you contributing something? Are you giving back? Right. All these things will go a long way in order to ensure that your success for your next role is made available for you. Apart from LinkedIn, I think there are two other platforms which have really found very, very useful. One is coffeemug.ai. Okay, Coffee Mug. Let me see if I'm able to just chat here. Yes, let me chat here. Coffeemug.ai. Okay, and meetup.com. Okay, so these are two very, very good platforms. Coffeemug.ai is a great platform where I've met some great people. You can go there and say, what is your different kind of interests which are there. You can meet people who are from the same industry. You can meet mentors from the same from these industries. You can meet like-minded people. You can either meet them in person, you can meet them virtually. You can then figure out what you want to do. Okay, Meetup is a very, very similar thing. You can again figure out. There are multiple communities which are there. There are events which are happening. You can go there and sign up and then figure out what is happening. You can keep in touch with what's happening there. So please ensure that you are making use of these platforms for networking. Okay. Once you network, once you get to a job, don't relax in the job, right? Don't say, okay, I'm just doing my job and my manager should definitely recognize what I'm doing and they should give me promotion. They should be the ones who should look at what I'm doing, what a great job I'm doing, and then ensuring that I'm constantly rewarded for it, right? That doesn't happen in real life. Okay. It's not your manager's responsibility to give you your career progression. Career progression is your responsibility. It is not your manager's responsibility. Okay. So it is in your hands. The way to do that is to also look at stretch assignments. I have promoted many, many people in my career based on the fact that they have always put up their hand to say, yes, I'll do that interesting initiative. I'll take up that new thing which needs to be done, right? Or that newsletter which needs to be created, because it will give you visibility. Visibility in an organization helps you again to network with other people, and hence then you're picked up. Okay. Whenever there is a new opportunity in any organization, any new role, any new project, always the one who is leading it needs people who they feel comfortable with. And they will always look at, hey, who's that good agile guy, man? Who's that agile person who's always who's that Entu guy? And once you are seen as somebody who's got that skills, yeah, I've done that, I've done this, I've also been a part of that. You're always sought after. Okay. So make sure that you are looking at those opportunities to do those, stretch assignments. I think a piece of advice to women in the group. Okay. Women mostly go through something called the imposter syndrome. Okay. The imposter syndrome is something which is it is a fact. What happens is that when you are applying for a job, women tend to feel that unless they match 100% of the job description, they're not qualified for it. Whereas men, even 50%, they'll say, yeah, I think I can do it, man. I'll go there and learn. 50% I know, no? And they raise their hands and say, yes, I can do it. But women are always conservative. They think that no, that I don't have that experience. I have to. They've asked for A, B, C, D. I only have A and B. C and D I don't have. So then I'm not qualified for it. Okay, and a lot of people go through that, especially women go through that when you are in a job. I don't know whether I fit here. I don't know whether I can do that. Even individual, even men go through it if you're suddenly put in a role which you have no idea about. Okay. And trust me, growth happens outside of your comfort zone. Okay. And I'm somebody who have lived by it. I swear by it. I've always, in all my roles which I've done in these large organizations, I've sometimes voluntarily I've said, no, you know what, I will go there and do that. Even the last job which I had in CSR, when I came back and told my wife that, hey, I think I'm moving into CSR. She said, oh, as a stretch assignment. I said, no, full time. He said, are you sure? CSR, after moving, handling these large accounts, large businesses, you're moving to CSR, small team, it's going to be a very, very different environment for you. Are you going to be okay with that? I said, yeah, let's try. Let's do it. Okay. And I've loved working, the kind of exposure which I had, the kind of things which I've learned personally. And that is what has now got me to my next phase of life, where I've moved away from the corporate world and then got into an NGO helping out in sustainable agriculture. Because as I said, the opportunities are tremendous which are out there. And I think if you are okay, if you're good to say, yes, I want growth, and growth is always outside of your comfort zone, I think you will find success there. Okay, so that is one thing. And please be aware of the fact that the imposter syndrome is a reality. Don't feel bad about it. We'll all grow, we'll all learn, we all have the ability to learn in a job. Now, I've been talking about jobs and corporates and all that, but it's very important for you to realize that entrepreneurship is also very, 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 very important, right? I think half of the people here could end up being entrepreneurs down the line. Why not? Right? If you are, why not create jobs instead of going and doing a job? So entrepreneurship is something which is absolutely available. Well, there is also something called the red car theory. It's a very interesting theory there. So if I was to ask you, how many red cars did you see on the road yesterday? People will say, red cars. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see any red cars, or maybe one I saw. But if I were to tell you now, before you leave your house today, if I were to tell you, for every red car, I'm going to give you 1,000 rupees, you're going to see a lot of red cars on the road. Okay. That is very similar to opportunities also. Opportunities are there, but we don't see it. But when you look for them, because there is a price at the end of it, there is 1,000 rupees at the end of it, you will see opportunities. So be aware of the fact that there are opportunities. Entrepreneurs are fantastic. It's a startup ecosystem right now in India. Be perfectly willing to try your hand at trying out entrepreneurship and fail. Failure is perfectly fine. Fail fast, go on to do something else, because failure also teaches you a lot of things. Okay. So entrepreneurs also extremely important. Make sure that you value entrepreneurship also. It can be small. It can be not everybody can become a Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, right? We all aspire to be there. It's good to have those aspirations, but any small entrepreneurship, even a franchisee, you are an entrepreneur, you are giving a job to 5 other people, perfectly fine, right? And that comes, so the point about what is a career, what is a job, I think it's very important, because these are the things, while doing all these things, you learn so many skills, and all those skills come together while you're doing something at the end of your the path which you're taking. Okay. So at the end of the path, I think if you're asking, what is your goal in life? because goals are changing, right? You will say that today I want to buy a car. Okay, you bought a car. Then what next? I want enough to buy a house. Okay, you bought a house. Then what next? You want a bigger car. You want a bigger house. You want a EV car now. You want a different. I think materialistic. The needs for that is never ending. Okay, it will keep going on. So goals will also shift. Our goal posts will also change. So I think ultimately what people need to ask is, what makes me happy? What is happiness? And happiness, it is on you to define what happiness is and your definition of what that is. And I think as long as you define what happiness is for you, I think that will ensure that you reach your point of success. Okay. As I say, it's not what you achieve, it's what you overcome. That's what defines your career. Okay. So wishing you all the best for this year's career planning and career activities for not only your students, but your alumni also. And thank you so much for inviting me here. It's been my pleasure to actually see familiar faces, and especially Roy Oyachan. I've been hearing so much about him. Wonderful to see you in person, sir. And wishing you all the best from my end. Over to you, Vinod or Vinky.
Thank you, Marianalumni. It was great. Great listening to you, Father Roy from this side. Yes,
it's a pleasure being here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. That was really an insightful talk, and it was great listening to you. We could know more about the importance of having the relevant skills, the importance of upgrading them, like the need for networking, the need for career development. I think within a short span, you have covered a variety of topics. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. It was really great listening to you. Thank you so much. And now the forum is open for questions.
Okay, maybe I shall ask one question. Can you hear me, Manoj?
Oh yeah, yes. Loud and clear, Twinkle.
Okay. മനോജിനെ കുറിച്ച് ക്ലാസിക്കൽ പെർഫോമൻസ് ഒക്കെ കണ്ടിരുന്നു. നമ്മൾ കരിയറിനെ പറ്റി പറയുമ്പോൾ can you just explain how these extra curricular activities അത് നമുക്കൊരു എനർജി ബൂസ്റ്റർ ആയിട്ട് എങ്ങനെയാണ് നിൽക്കുന്നത് എന്നൊന്ന് പറയാമോ?
Very true. I think I kind of talked about work-life balance is very important. Okay, work-life balance. Other I think it becomes a drag, right? And I don't really like the word work-life balance, because it assumes that work is on one side and life is on the other, whereas work is part of your life, right? So maybe hobbies very, very important in life. Hobbies, I think it becomes you're just a working machine. You just end up you go end up doing the standard stuff, come back home, then you're preparing for your next day's thing. So I think the fact that you have any kind of hobby, it can be gardening, it can be music, it can be dance, it can be biking, it can be swimming, sports, whatever it is. I think that recharges you. It's like the mobile battery. You have to have an ability to recharge. So recharging is very, very important. It has helped me personally, and thankfully I've also been known for that in the organizations, because ended up dancing in music and other stuff like that. So you're also invited to be a part of some of these sessions, so that also creates networking opportunities. So definitely these things go to add multiple feathers to you. I was also the IBM club president. In IBM, you also have something called the IBM club in order to get employees together and to create engagement activities. So because of these hobbies which I have and these talents, I was also the IBM club. So that gave me other opportunities to network with other people. So extracurricular activities immensely helps you. Even your ability to just be an MC, talk fluently. Maybe narrate a poem. I think that makes a huge difference, right? In organizations, or chief guest to from abroad, you want somebody to come in and be the MC. You are the one who will be called upon. Okay, so identify your talents, nurture them, do not ignore them when you get into a job. I think that's half the people kind of do that. I don't have the time. Make time for it, and you will have a well-balanced life.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Actually, my question already Chungi asked. I was about to ask the same question earlier. Okay. He was talking about his talents. Maths in the first episode, plan cheyidapol. I think they were the one who sent the first family dance video. നമ്മുടെ മാത്സിന്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് എപ്പിസോഡിൽ പോയാൽ കാണാം മനോജ് ആൻഡ് ഫാമിലി ശാലിനി പിള്ളേരും എല്ലാവരും കൂടെ ഉള്ള ഡാൻസ്. സോ അത്രയും ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ടീവ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാളാണ്, ലൈക്ക് കീപ്പിംഗ് ദ ഫാമിലി ടുഗദർ along with all his busy schedule. നമ്മളുടെ മാത്സിന് വേണ്ടി, അലുമിനിയുടെ പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് വേണ്ടി തന്നെ. So he's always associated with us.
That was a fun thing, Jyoti. So enjoyed that.
Any more questions?
Can I ask a question? Hi, Mr. Manoj. It was nice hearing you.
Yes,
just a quick question regarding the industry that you're working in. So I'm very interested in this hydroponic concept of farming. So do you think, working in this space, do you think there is some future for this in India? Especially the sustainable farming?
Absolutely. There is no question about it. Agriculture, especially in agriculture, I think we have become the largest population in the world. It's just a matter of whether we happen to become the largest population earlier in the year or in September. By September end, the statistics say that we have overtaken China there. Okay, farmers don't want to continue doing farming because it's very, very tough. Farmers' kids don't want to do farming because they've all been educated, so they don't want their farming is no longer lucrative. Climatic conditions are actually changing, where it becomes very, very sensitive for farmers to continue because they don't have a plan B, right? So agriculture is actually taking a backseat. Agriculture is also the second largest emitter of GHG. GHG is global greenhouse gases, GHG in the world. Okay, so hydroponics is one of those things which actually eliminates that. It's a very sustainable way of how you can actually create, very cost effective, lots and lots of opportunities. In fact, in Bangalore, lots of IT guys are leaving their jobs, buying farmlands and doing high hydroponics. So lots of opportunities there. So IT vannuchalum, AI vannuchalum, cloud vannuchalum, blockchain vannuchalum, we have to eat 3 times a day. So if farmers don't end up producing, I don't know what we will eat, right? So definitely, there is a market for it.
Thank you.
Manoj, Nitin here.
Yes, Nitin.
Yeah, it was quite nice, listening to you. You're talking, quite inspiring. See, one thing I would like to ask you is, while I was just going through your profile, you started as an IT, right? An IT guy, and you ventured into a lot of space, right? Currently, you are into farming now. Probably you are into research. Now, just let me understand, I think there are many people, students who are coming up, and probably I've interacted with quite a few of them who are in bachelor's, doing their bachelor's program. They're quite confused about, what future has in store for them and, how to plan your future. You said future, your career cannot be planned, it's something that works out once you reach one stage or other. So, how should a person who is like currently, say, a person who is doing a bachelor's degree, plan the career? Because, now there are so many things happening in the world. A person who has taken a BBA and BCom is actually a kind of, I would say, confused how to go about it. So what would be your, probably short advice to them?
Yeah. So great question, right? And I think this is exactly what I said, that you can't plan your career when you're looking for a job. Career happens over a period of time, right? So I think the most important thing is, how do you plan for a job, and what kind of jobs do I want to do? As long as you are doing a SWOT analysis of yourself and understand what my strengths and weaknesses are. What are my strengths as a person? What kind of skills do I have? What do I feel good about doing? As long as you understand that, there are enough and more opportunities to go and look out. Okay, I like the IT, I like IT. Even for BBA, BCom guys, even for arts, people who have done arts, IT guys are now looking for it, because with AI, with data analytics, you need to have creative abilities to picturize data models now. Okay, so people are looking at people who have done bachelor's in arts to come in and do something in that area. So I think the opportunities are there, and it's a very, I would end up giving a very theoretical answer. Okay, but I think people will have, as long as they get their first job that gives them confidence, look for a first job. It can be something which what do I do? If somebody who's done the BBA or a BCom cannot aspire to become a doctor. I mean, that is quite clear, right? I've chosen a particular field. I want to kind of do this, and post that I'll kind of find a job which gives me something which uses my skills. And what is those skills in the Parayan? As I said, you should know what your or SWOT analysis, internal SWOT, you should know your skills. I'm good at finance. I'm good at accounting. I'm good at management. I'm good at company secretary. Whatever your area, I think I like this. If you like that, and you kind of pursue that space in order to find a job in that. Okay, use the power of your network. Use again. I want to make sure that I emphasize the fact that AI is playing a huge part. Use AI platforms which are available to better your resumes and your opportunities to find the right match. Okay, for your job. Okay, so what is it which I want to do? How do I find a job? Well, there's no magic. Well, there's no magic wand there. Two things which I'm very, and after all these years, we'll also get to a slightly spiritual outlook, okay, about what life is. Two things which I'm very sure that it is kind of predetermined in a way, is the kind of job which you do and the person you are with. Okay, because that's majority of the time, that is what you end up doing. So it is determined that you will do a certain kind of job. If you believe in that, it will find it, or that job will find you. Okay, have the confidence that maybe it might just take time. Okay, but while you're waiting for that, ensure that you are upgrading your skills. Constantly keep looking at, how do I add rendu maasam free ana vacations in the, how do I do one online course and add one more additional skill, right? And then use that and update my resume, and then make, because what that will do is it will make sure that you cut the line and you are going ahead of the other people in the queue. Okay, so unfortunately, I don't know whether there's no magic marker there, magic wand there. It's just a matter, it will come. Okay, what job? I didn't, Ashok Leyland, funny story, when engineering, first company which I got into was TCS. TCS came in, I got into TCS primarily because of the fact that IIT Madras was right opposite to us in Gindi Engineering. We got their question paper. TCS came there. They for the first level, our question paper, we got it. Everybody knew all the answers. Everybody got into TCS. So I did my engineering in Anna University. We all got the answers. So TCS was not able to figure out, how do I select these guys? But what happened was, TCS interview process went for a much longer, it went for 2 days. On the evening, I had a dance program. I could not miss that because I was one of those main dancers. And I said, you know what, TCS is one of those companies, yeah. TCS boy, I was doing my mechanical engineering. It's okay. I can always move from non-mechanical or a mechanical job to a IT job at a later point of time. Let me look at a typical mechanical company which actually comes, and Ashok Leyland was the first company which came in, and I got into that. And sometimes I feel that 99 98 99 when Y2K was happening. I don't know, some if you would not even have heard about that term, but people were flying all over from TCS. All my friends were going US, Japan, Germany, UK. Everybody was flying in, and I was tightening nuts and bolts, and oil was dripping on my face. And every flight which was going, I was like, I should have taken the job. What, man, I should have gone. I would be there. But I think everything happens for a reason. I'm super happy with how life has turned out for me. I would not have it any other way. So maybe this is your path is defined for you. It will happen. Good things will happen in life. Okay. So have that confidence and have the trust and have that faith that there is a supreme power, something which determines what happens. And my wife constantly reminds me that I talk a lot. So I know that I've maybe talked a lot more than what I had promised Twinkle. Twinkle said half an hour. I said, no, half an hour is too much, man. I'll just talk for 10 minutes. And I think I talked for an hour.
No, Manoj, but it was really wonderful and really enlightening to be really to see the fact.
The talk was really inspiring. I think we also share some energy with you.
Thank you, Twinkle. All right. So with that, I think we'll not fish for more questions. I know all of us have other things to do on a Sunday morning, afternoon, evening. Thank you so much for the invitation, guys. Okay. Wish you all the best for this year.
Thank you, Manoj.
Yeah, thank you. Really, thank you so much. It was really great listening to you, sir. Each and every word was so inspiring, so insightful. Thank you once again. Now, a word of gratitude sweetens even the smallest moments, and it's time to express our gratitude towards you. Let me welcome Mr. Alan Joseph, our alumni, as well as consultant at Deloitte, to convey vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and our cherished alumni, faculty members, and students. We have come together today to celebrate an event that has left a mark on our hearts and minds, thanks to the collective efforts of many individuals. As we bid adieu to this wonderful gathering, it is my honor to express our heartfelt gratitude to all those who have made the Career and Professional Development Wing inauguration to be a remarkable success. Mr. Joe, your warm welcome set the tone for this event, making everyone feel at home and at ease. We appreciate your gracious words that you've extended to all of us. Ms. Jyoti, the Career Wing report was an illuminating journey through the achievements and aspirations of our alumni and student community. The team's dedication and the comprehensive report have provided us with a clear roadmap for our future. Father Dr. Roy Abraham, your felicitation added an aura of reverence to this gathering. Your blessings and kind words have touched our hearts and inspired us to uphold the core values that define our community. We express our sincere thanks for your thoughtful felicitation.
Thank you, Aran.
Mr. Twinkle, the presidential address was a beacon of inspiration and unity, with key emphasis on the strength of collaboration. Your words have stirred our collective spirit and ignited a fire of enthusiasm within us. We thank you for your compelling address. Professor Dr. Ajimon George, your message was a wellspring of wisdom and guidance. Your insights will continue to light our path as we navigate the world of career and professional development. We are grateful for your presence and the invaluable message you've shared.
Thank you. Thank you.
Advocate Nelson, your speech was a well of motivation and determination. Your words will serve as a source of inspiration as we embark on this journey. We thank you for your impactful speech. Mr. Vinod, your introduction of our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Manoj Balachandran, was not just informative, but very engaging. Your introduction set the stage perfectly for the intellectual feast that followed, and we appreciate your contribution to the event.
Thank you, Alan.
Mr. Manoj, your inaugural and keynote address was a masterclass in wisdom and inspiration. It was quite interesting to know your take on career planning and sharing with us your personal journey from an engineer in Ashok Leyland to currently helping farmers with sustainable farming. The quote, "Success occurs when opportunity meets preparation," from Zig Ziglar is indeed a quote to ponder on, to be well prepared to capitalize on opportunities that come our way. Some of the unique takeaways are the need for coaches and mentors, the need for consistently upgrading our skills, the power of networking, and the importance of our digital presence. You have also rightly emphasized on the importance of entrepreneurship, which is really crucial and ties with our promising Indian growth story. We want to say that your knowledge and experience have left a mark on our hearts and minds, and we thank you for sharing your insights with us. And last but not the least, Ms. Angel, thank you for taking the time and comparing for this event. I would also like to extend our gratitude to all the alumni, faculty members, and students who have supported and participated with us online in making this event a success. Your presence has added depth and meaning to this gathering. The Career and Professional Development Wing, under the able leadership of Mr. Twinkle, deserves special recognition for their meticulous planning and diligent efforts in organizing this event. Their dedication has been the driving force behind the gathering's success. In conclusion, as we depart from this event, let us carry with us the knowledge, inspiration, and sense of unity that we have experienced today. Our alumni community is stronger and more inspired because of this event. We eagerly anticipate the future endeavors of our Career and Professional Development Wing and the continued growth and success of our alumni and student community. Once again, thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Alan, for your kind words of gratitude. Thank you so much once again. And now we have come to the successful culmination of our official inaugural ceremony. Thank you to everyone, each and every one of you who have taken your time and joined us this evening. Thank you once again.
Thank you all.